The book, The Communion Letters, was published in 1997 by HarperCollins. Thousands of letters were sent to the Striebers. People continue to send Whitley their testimony to this day. The Communion Letters are available on Amazon. They are also archived at Rice University in Houston, Texas. This series of readings from the Communion Letters is dedicated to Anne Strieber, whom we all miss. Thank you, Whitley, for allowing us to share them here. We will be reading chosen letters from the book, and you are highly encouraged to read the book in its entirety. Let us begin. Page 62, The Communion Letters. The Blessed Mother herself? I'm not sure of the exact date, but I believe it was mid-fall 1973 when I had my first visitor experience. I'm sure of the time of day. It was 8 p.m. At that time of my life, I was living a very hectic schedule. I was a young mother with 2 small children under 4 years of age and going to college part-time at night. I didn't like going out that night to do my grocery shopping, but that was the only night it could be done. I do remember that it was cold, dark night with few stars visible in the sky. The trees were bare without leaves. When I reached the stop sign at the end of my track, I noticed some strange lights up in the sky approaching me. Not terribly high up or really low either. What was so strange was that they were pulsating, not flashing, varied in size and making a triangle-like shape in the sky. There were 3 lights, red, white, and green, and I believe that the green was the largest, though I couldn't be certain. I definitely remember them being different sizes. They seemed to approach me quite swiftly, and then suddenly they stopped. I became frightened. I looked to see if anybody else was out to see this, or if any car stopped to look at it. I believe only 1 or 2 cars passed in front of me. This lasted for maybe 2 minutes. I don't believe I lost any time. During that time, I remember freezing in fear. These lights seemed to be looking right at me and the area all around me. Suddenly, the triangular lights turned swiftly to the right and sped away with incredible speed. No airplane or weather balloon could have moved that fast. I just froze and had to talk myself into getting the shopping done. I rationalized that I must be seeing things. Somehow I completed my shopping, but I had this awful cold fear that the whole time I was in the store, I just wanted to get home. When I got home, I told my husband what I'd seen. He showed some surprise and concern, but not much. I know he was tired, and maybe I was seeing things. We went to bed early that night. Despite my apprehension, I definitely remember not having any difficulty falling asleep that night, but I had the most amazing dream. What I first remember is floating down my upstairs hall in a sitting position with my legs straight out in front of me. There were these little black people, about 5 or 6 of them, alongside me. They were all smiles. Their eyes were round and they had no hair. I don't remember if they had clothes on. They seemed to be all black and shiny. I felt anxious but not very fearful. I remember feeling stiff and only moving my eyes from side to side. I thought that I was frozen with fear, but it's strange. I wasn't terrified. When we came down the stairs, I could see that there were others who were swiftly roaming around the downstairs part of my house. We have a sliding glass door off our kitchen that leads into our backyard. I don't remember if the doors were open or if we went through the window. They were taking me up a ramp, I think, in a large round spaceship. Before going on this, I saw 2 round spaceships on either side of the one I was entering. In 1973, we didn't have the arborvitae trees bordering either side of our property. The craft extended over into our neighbor's property. I think I should add that we've never had any problems with our backyard lawn, nor have my neighbors. What I remember next is waking up and feeling pressure around my nose. When I opened my eyes, I saw this huge white bug with enormous eyes. All I could think of was a praying mantis. I was on my back on some table looking up at this thing. I remember becoming very frightened. I don't know if I spoke or not, but those eyes looked very angry at me. In my mind, I believe flashed, "Space creature." Next, I remember pleading verbally or with thoughts, I'm not sure. I demanded to know what was going on. I had to understand. I knew I was begging. Those eyes turned away from me. The visitor turned to a table to my left, then faced me again. Those eyes seemed to go right through me. What I remember next is quite interesting. I wasn't on the table anymore. I believe I was walking, not floating. I was approaching someone amazing. I also forgot to mention that I felt that the huge white bug was female. Why? I don't know. To continue, this new person or visitor was luminescent white and floated. She was showing me an underground cave. She was very gentle and kind and was trying to soothe my fears. This may sound strange, but I was trying to meet her halfway, so to speak. All I remember thinking was that I had to know and needed to understand. She started to walk me deeper into this cave. We passed the little black people who were all smiles while carrying boxes, I think, from one area to the other. I had so many questions, philosophical ones, I think. She was wonderful. I can't remember exactly what we discussed. When I woke up from this dream, I felt wonderful. It was still the middle of the night. I didn't know what time it was. All I know is that I felt so loved and cherished, and that everything was harmonious and good. I forgot to mention that when I met this visitor, I wondered if the huge white mantis was playing a trick on me. It crossed my mind that maybe I was seeing the Blessed Mother herself. I just don't know, but I put my fears aside.